Can we let the gentleman way in the back jump in again?
We've talked a lot about the root cause, which is this Byzantine stack. And this is precisely the problem with smartphones prior to iPhone and Android. And we get two Silicon Valley companies come straighten out that stack in their own special way. If you look at what's creating this Byzantine environment, if I had to look for one culprit, I would say ESPN. ESPN gets 40 cents from every cable dollar. And I'm just curious, with all this wealth and all this impressive knowledge and technology in Silicon Valley, why don't you just go get ESPN from Comcast?
Disney owns ESPN.
I know, but in terms of the distribution channel. So ESPN's making their money through that channel. Just like Verizon was calling the shots with hardware. Hardware companies flip it on their head. What's the solution? If there is one.
Yeah, I mean, the point we mentioned is right. This is a complex ecosystem. You have to understand and take a tack to solve the ecosystem problems, right? The whole thing is that right now, a lot of people have taken models that the content providers do not want you to take. If you're able to provide a model to them that shows increased revenue for them, or a way to monetize their content, that they don't care what the delivery mechanism is, they care about money. Right? They care about, can you monetize the content at a rate that is equal to or greater than what I have today? We've got models. We're working cooperatively with all these guys. They're very enthusiastic about our systems. They're all on our systems. We're all moving forward in a lot of different ways. As part of this announcement that we made at CES, we had Ford, we had big advertiser brand names showing off how they're enhancing their advertising using our technology. And by enhancing the advertising, it gives the advertisers a way to create more interaction, measurability of television commercials. It allows them to create new models. It creates these enhancements that we do are internet delivered, so it creates an internet delivered ecosystem around targeting and things like that. So it enhances the value of advertising, enhances the value of content. It makes more money for television networks, right? They're enthusiastic about those sort of things. So people are going to have to take a look at this as how the business can be solved in such a way that all this technology can come to bear.
My question for each of the panelists is, what problem do you think each of your companies is trying to solve? Is there a need for it, and what are you trying to actually address? What's Internet Connectivity trying to actually address?
Simple. The problem we're addressing is really the separation that people have from each other and wanting to be together with those people. So it's just a basic human need of wanting to be together.
Okay. For us, we're really about making TV better. If you look at the evolution of the internet, the internet has greatly changed the way we consume printed media. It's greatly changed the way we consume music. It will change the way we watch television. The industry will evolve. Unfortunately, television is also the biggest market of all of those, and it's very complex, so it's going to take a lot of effort and a lot of time for it to change. But really, we're about kind of the future of what television becomes, and making it, bringing personal meaning to it, bringing it into a new kind of internet-enabled environment from where it is today.
Just choice. I mean, if I sit down to watch, just a lot more choices of what to watch.
A lot more choice. Zane?
We're solving such a weird, specific problem. I wouldn't for a second try and convince you.
This is a question for Gina. I have used your Telepresence stuff, which is awesome. And then on the very low end, I use Skype, right? I don't understand I haven't used Yumi. Where does that fit in? A. B. The use case you described is really interesting. I mean, I could see a lot of people getting a tutor in their house or whatever. But why don't you just go by Skype and then enhance it a little bit? Really, because it seems like that really provides a peer-to-peer solution that's really good. What does Yumi do outside of that, and why do we need all this extra hardware?
I worked with Skype quite a bit. I used to run the video business at Logitech. So, it's a great company, and I'm a Skype user too. So when I travel, that's usually what I'm using. I think having choice out there is always a good thing. But what we focused on was the experience. And so today you can get Skype on a television. You have to go buy a new TV and you can have that Skype experience. It's nothing like Yumi. This is a level of experience that makes you feel like you're in the room with that person. And the best thing is it works on your television, it uses your broadband. It's a 1080p experience, so it's extremely high quality. And really that's fundamentally the difference. It is about that being their experience. It's not about, there are a lot of solutions out there that will let you talk to somebody using a webcam on a PC. You can even hook that up to your television and make it look big, but it's a very different experience. And that's fundamentally what we're doing with Yumi that's different.
And how much does it cost?
It is a very pricey solution right now. So the hardware that we provide is $5.99, and there's a service fee on top of that.
Which is how much?
Well, you know, the service fee is definitely going to vary. Verizon's going to be coming out with the Yumi product, so they'll be pricing it appropriately. We have a product that we sell directly at Best Buy, around $25 a month. But you know, you should expect to see this product coming out globally through service providers. And there's a great reason to do that, by the way, because 1080p and even 720p video, it's broadband hungry. And today, in most of the networks out there, there's a lot of, you know, ability to stream. But when you want to actually upload, it's a very different kind of situation for the consumer. So I will say for a product like Yumi, it's early days. It's going to take a while for this market to get there. You have to tackle the broadband, the getting, you know, two people to actually buy the system because you both want the experience. We interoperate with Google Chat. I'd love to do it with Skype and FaceTime as well. So interop's another good solution.
I wanted the guy that said, why can't Apple come in and solve the problem like it did for music? You don't think the content
You want to stand up?
You don't think the content providers watch Apple disintermediate and destroy the pricing structure in their business? They watch that very carefully. Television watch that happen in music. And the television content providers are like, no effing way. Nobody, not Apple, not anybody, is going to get in that position with us. And the way we control that is we have 1,000 flowers of the way this stuff comes out, and we have tight control over it, and we don't really care what the experience is like for the consumer. We'd be nice, but we're good, but we care about our pricing. So there is not going to be a single solution like that.
They're eventually going to have to.
No, they're not going to have, for now, for the next 5 years, they're not going to have to do anything. They're in the catbird seat. They're like, yeah, I'm not going to give it to you because you'll destroy my business. Sayonara. So I predict Apple TV will have a serious problem trying to get content. And you can see right now with Infinity and all these other things, you buy these things, they got crap for content. Because these guys are like, no, nobody's going to get control of this. Nobody. So it's a problem for us.
One more question? Last question.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anybody who thinks that their cable television bill is too low. So I have a concern about internet TV because I've got one and a DVD player. And every button that shows up on there is another $20 a month. So is internet TV just another way of saying pay TV on steroids?
If you look at what's popular today on these devices, it tends to be the subscription services. So it is paid in that regard. So Netflix, Hulu Plus, the VOD services like Cinema Now and Amazon are fee services. I think the question would start to get raised with the ESPNs and Disneys is the way that cable pricing works today is that there's a certain number of suppliers, cable networks like NBC Universal and Disney and Discovery and Fox. And they bundle up a set of channels and they charge a monthly per subscriber fee to the cable companies. You end up with a bill that pretty quickly gets to $75 or $100. So the question is there going to be an opportunity at some point to begin for consumers to put together an entertainment package at a lower price? I mean, whether or not it's truly a la carte, I don't know. But I think the promise is that there might be some ways to put together services that fit your needs at a lower price than you're paying in total today. If you want everything cable offers, it's actually pretty good value. And there's a ton of stuff there, but not everybody wants all of that. So I think that's the big question over the next few years.
So we've heard some really interesting comments about what an incredibly complicated ecosystem this is. That the technology may be there, which wasn't, you know, way back when, 20 odd years ago. but that the structure of the industry may be difficult, that we're still figuring out what consumers really want to do in their living room on a Thursday night, and we're still figuring out what advertisers are going to be interested in paying. And so it sums up to be a very complex, but still very exciting ecosystem, with perhaps you being able to have chats with your grandparents or your grandchildren or your dog or whatever, who's ever some distance away, being able to learn more about the content, having more choices for the content, and ultimately, as Ron said, having a better experience. So hopeful, but maybe not hold your breath moment. Please join me in thanking all of our panelists.